Okay. Okay, so all right, so apparently that did not go swell. I'm not gonna be able to like react to like movies that has like copyright editions since YouTube seen that and they suspended my stream for a quick minute. So there's gonna be like a few movies to where they're not copyright. Let's see, no copyright. Like, is there like any movies? What the fuck? No copyright movie trailers. Can I react to songs? Yes, but as long as they're not copyright. If I do, then they're gonna just like pause it. What'd you say? Okay, so three friends went to a fourth friend who is abused by a father, very bad, and they make a plan. I don't know specifically this part, so to the part. And then the fourth friend calls the 911 in front of the abusive dad. I don't know why, but then he starts to cry in the corner, realizing what he had done. Also, the father is like really angry at a view. Damn. Damn, the father got anger issues? If so, he need to go to management. That's not the wildest part. Oh shit. Oh shit. Okay, so the three friends are outside. Okay. I'm not sure. He usually be on. Damn it, there is no other. Oh, there is one game that's what? Okay, now my fucking keyboard going crazy. One of the friends are crying. They didn't know what they got themselves into. Oh lord, that'd be some crazy. There is okay, the Ghosts of Yotai. They just got released. This is what I want to see. I hope I don't get copyright from this. Oh my god.
Unreal.
Yeah, the some of the movies trailers that I've seen, I think it was like the Sinners. I think I was not supposed to watch that. Not supposed to react to it. So sorry. Mix up gameplay and in-game cinematics.
Spirit seeking vengeance.
Sorry about pauses. Now hold on tight on this one, but two friends, they wanted that to happen, and the sounds of the beating that could be heard. Ooh, someone about to die. Mm! Do I have parasocial? Yes, I do.
Who are you?
He got to be the main. He got to be the main antagonist.
I thought we killed your whole family.
The snake.
Oh.
The Oni. The Kitsune.
Is she collecting like every mask?
The spider. The dragon. Lord Saito.
What are we going to do with this one, Saito?
Oh, she's gonna get revenge.
I'm sorry. It came to this, little wolf.
She's gonna get revenge. Oh wow, they planned it the entire time. Oh, they must be the ones that was crazy.
Situ Rainu. Why do you always call me that?
It means one who is easily lost in the hunt.
Oh! 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 Okay, then we got the wolf on our side. Oh yeah, she's getting revenge. She's getting revenge on everybody. That was it. That was it. I wanted to see more.
I have to go home. Back where all this started.
October 2nd. October 2nd, y'all better be here. Y'all better be here. That's exactly what I'm about to play in the next couple of months. I'm playing that. October 2nd, I'm coming. Now, there's another game trailer I want to see with the Nintendo Switch 2. Also, it's been launched. This is the first look, yeah, and then we've seen that. Let's see, overview trailer. I want to see the one. I want the Mario Kart one because I know they had like another one. This is Mario Kart bundle. It's only 30 seconds.
On Nintendo Switch 2, Mario Kart.
Oh, I think I already seen that. I think there's another one. Oh, this game is so fire! Yo!
Drivers, start your engines. Welcome to the Mario Kart World game. Available exclusively
I
on
just
the
finished
Nintendo
Life is
Switch 2
Strange.
system.
Why does Mr. Jefferson
What
look
kind
like
of
the guy who
races
got
await
like
you?
eaten?
In Mario Kart World, you'll aim for first place in each Grand Prix. But why stop there? Across cities, plains, a desert,
I cannot
and
believe you
even
can
the
be a
ocean.
freaking cow.
You can drive virtually everywhere in this fully interconnected world. Races
Nah.
are held on courses scattered throughout various regions that span this world, and you can freely drive between them.
This is gas.
There's a lot in store, and we're only at the starting line. Let's introduce some of the courses that are waiting for you. Here we go!
Burrito.
Courses are found throughout the world, inspired by their surrounding region. Let's take a look at some of the new courses to explore.
Yeah, what y'all got? What the new courses y'all got?
Ride the ridges and roads on Mario Brothers Circuit,
Okay.
and cruise the curves around the canyon. You can't miss it.
All right, not bad.
See the sights and structures of Crown City. You can even
Ooh.
soar in style down Main Street.
Nah, that's fire.
Drift along the rapid waterways of Salty Speedway. And
Salty,
make a splash
salty?
around the city's canals.
Salty Speedway.
Stay cool in the snowy trails of Starview Peak.
Ooh.
Just don't slip off while soaking up the scenery.
Oh, that's fire.
A spirited showing at the ghostly movie theater Boo Cinema.
There's a
It's a
cinema?
whole new kind of drive-in theater.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay. I'm not even gonna lie. That's crazy. That's fire. Can you react to more true horror stories? Actually, matter of fact, yes I am. Let's see here. We gonna finish that. We gonna finish that later. That's if I have time. Cause it's like what 1:30 for me. If I don't have enough time to watch the rest of this, even though it's like 17 minutes long, I'm gonna just make a video of it. But yeah, let's see. True horror. I'll say it's been a while since I even done this. Let's see. I know we done that one before. 9, that's a whole hour. I want to see one that's like Horror Shorts Party. I want to see one that's like popular. They got like any popular ones? What the fuck? Oh no. Where's like, oh my god. You like restaurants? Trying to Burger King? What? Fucking Wendy's? Try the Tinder one? Okay. True horror Tinder. Oh wow, they do. Is it by Horror Shorts Party? Please let it be. Oh, did he make one? Yes, he did. Okay. Well, let's do this one. Holy hell. Number 1, let's go.
This is a true story that happened a couple of years ago, when Tinder was the go-to place for online dating. My experience with Tinder, or should I say with this one individual, was at first a friendly and flirtatious experience turned fatal the further things went. It all started when I was doing night classes at my local community college. At the time, I was studying to get my degree in nursing, so you can imagine the monotonous lectures that the course entailed.
Okay.
I would usually take pictures of my friends' notes so that I didn't have to take notes during lectures. Instead, I would go on Tinder. I was single at the time and figured I could pursue a boyfriend since December was considered cuffing season. I remember messaging this attractive guy who I'll call Ryan for the sake of this story. Ryan was my type of guy, handsome and someone who enjoyed the nature and wildlife. From his profile pictures, I could see him holding a machete while wearing camo attire.
No.
After our initial match, I got to know Ryan a lot more and found out that he was a huntsman who also enjoyed fishing on his days off. Nonetheless, his good look.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, 14 subs. We're like 900 away, and we're like this close of getting 4,000 public watch hours. I need y'all watch some of the videos that I had back then. You ain't even gotta watch them. You can just put them in the background and you can just go on about your business. I just need to rack it up a little bit. I mean, if you can help your boy out, I mean.
Looks and charm gave me good vibes that the other guys on Tinder didn't. We had messaged back and forth for about a week or two, and even video chatted occasionally. My friends and school colleagues suggested I give him a shot at a first date, but I felt like I wanted to take things slow and steady.
Exactly.
This is when things took a dark and unexpected turn. One night, my best friend Jenna sends me a link of Ryan's personal Facebook page. As I opened his page up on my desktop computer, I see that he was currently in a relationship with another female of Hispanic.
Oh, damn. God damn. What? Oh, Ryan, you a cheater? You a cheater, Ryan? Like, you could have just... Oh, so not only he's on Tinder, but he's cheating on his current girlfriend while texting you. Get him up out of here, bro.
Descent. I began to act irrational and bombarded him with texts saying stuff like,
"Why the hell would you lead me on if you're still in a relationship? I saw your Facebook, buddy."
Lock him.
Not even 10 seconds later, Ryan responds back saying, "I was planning on breaking up with her to be with you." I didn't want to be known as a homewrecker, but he was too irresistible to let go of, considering how much in common I had with him. I messaged back saying,
"So you're willing to break up with her to be with me?"
"Yes, I'll break it to her later tonight."
"How will she take the news?"
Sometimes you just gotta kill him with kindness. After an awkward turn of events, I shut off my computer, put my phone on silent, and headed to bed, while brushing the whole notion under the rug that I was going to end a relationship and potentially gain one simultaneously.
Why you ain't just block him
The
and
next
just move
morning, I
on?
woke up and checked my cell phone on my nightstand. I remember seeing 2 missed messages from Ryan. I opened them up and saw an image of his girlfriend.
Yo! What the? Oh! I thought he meant like, oh, I'm about to just, you know, it may hurt your feelings, but like, I'm already seeing somebody. This man literally killed his ex. Like, legit killed her.
Except she was bloodied. A good portion of her face was severed off with a second message that read, "Done." After the alleged homicide circulated the news, it was later found out that Ryan had taken his girlfriend's life with his hunting machete. What makes this story more disturbing was how I recall Ryan explicitly saying he was going to quote-unquote kill his girlfriend with kindness prior to breaking up with her. Little did I know that his hunting machete...
So his machete's name is Kindness. His machete name is Kindness. Okay.
machete was named Kindness.
Okay. Wow. Rest in peace with the ex. She didn't deserve it. Mia Yim, WWE
Never
star?
in 1,000 years did I ever expect to experience such a disturbing encounter during a date. A date that I'm now reminded of every time I stare at my reflection. The scars that remain on my face only reflect my scars from the outside, but don't project the scars from the inside. The brutality in the hands of this certain individual left me seeking professional counseling. I find it difficult to erase the image of the individual's face from my memory, as it still sends shockwaves through my anatomy. Maybe sharing my story with the world will help close this horrific chapter of my life. It all started a couple years ago, when the dating app Tinder first launched. I remember seeing all of my friends download the app as it was the new trend when it came to online dating. I've used other dating apps in the past, but never really got too far in the dating scene besides a nice meeting you text or a $100 bill after a lunch date. There was this one occasion when I got home from a long day of school.
I got one sock on and one off.
On my bed the moment I stepped foot inside my room. I had just finished midterms and felt the sudden urge to blow off some steam and perhaps go out later that night. I grabbed my cell phone and began messaging my friends in our group chat saying, "Yo, anyone down to chill later?" A couple of minutes go by and I get a few replies saying something to the effect of, "Not today, with girlfriend," or "Got a Tinder date tonight." This was incredibly frustrating, as I felt like I was slowly becoming the one single friend in my entire friend group. I felt like my social skills and dating life were slowly diminishing the longer I stayed home and didn't go out. That's when
See, this is what happens when you got your homies, they got a whole girlfriend, and you barely be hanging out with them because they with their girl and everything. I mean, well, they're supposed to hang out with their girlfriends, but damn, don't leave your homie hanging if he's the one that don't got a girl. I mean,
I decided to log onto my desktop computer and create a new Tinder profile.
3 school lockdown story animations. I'm gonna do that one.
Typing out a witty personal bio, I started uploading old photos to my profile. I made sure to also download the app on my phone while making myself comfortable on my living room couch. I remember swiping through the app for a few minutes and seeing dozens of attractive females. Due to my previous encounters regarding dating apps, I knew not to trust the pictures within the girls' profiles, as some of them could turn out to be catfishes more often than not. During the latter part of my evening, I was waiting patiently to match with any girls on Tinder. My dad always told me to shoot my shot with as many girls as possible. That way the probability of hooking up with one would be higher than the average guy.
That's okay. Whatever your dad just done told you, that's a bad idea. I mean, if you see a girl that you like and you want to talk to her, take things slow, cause you don't want to just talk to a girl randomly and just already just going to be like, "Hey, you cute? You trying to go out? This, and that?" Like, slow down. take it chill. Like, just talk to her, have a friendly conversation, and if the things like get spicy enough, and she trying to hang out with you later tonight, hey, shoot your shot, but don't go fast, cause that's gonna mess up the whole communication right there.
I recall swiping right and liking at least 100 girls' profiles on Tinder. Out of the hundreds of girls, I surprisingly got no matches back. I couldn't help but feel my self-esteem gradually deplete. I didn't want to sour the rest of my day, so I decided to put my phone down and watch some TV for the remainder of the evening. My anxiety began playing tricks on me as I truly convinced myself that I was going to be single forever. The room suddenly became...
I mean, my advice is top notch. But I mean, hey, for the people that's like single out there and you ain't got no girl, or for the girls out there who ain't got no dudes or anything, don't stress yourself out. Can't find one? Shit. Maybe one day someone will come to you. You just make sure you gotta love yourself before you love someone else. Because if you don't love yourself, you're not gonna love anybody. You're just gonna be hating everybody, and you're just gonna be getting mad at the whole world and just throwing that anger out on them. Don't do that. Always love yourself before you love someone else. Like I said before, you can't find a dude or a girlfriend, be by yourself. Ain't nothing wrong being single by yourself. Ain't nothing wrong about that. It's just, I mean, there's one side of you saying that, oh, it's peaceful, it's relaxing, you ain't gotta deal with no stress or anything. But then there's the other side to where, like, damn, you're lonely, you ain't got nobody to talk to or chill with, or just all that type of stuff. So it's like you're in between. But always secure your love self, because be honest with you, in this type of generation, all these girls or dudes just be doing whatever. Even they're in a relationship or anything, they'll just do whatever, and don't even care about it until the last minute. So hey, always love yourself before you love somebody else.
Became silent despite the television still remaining on. My eyes started getting heavy the longer I stared at the TV. I began picking at the armrest of my sofa while trying to blow off some steam. Feelings of anxiety weighed heavy on my shoulders.
It's okay.
Am I really gonna die single? Does anyone want to be with me? That's when I hear a notification sound coming from my phone. I grabbed my phone and noticed it was a match from someone on Tinder.
Hey, you got blessed!
I noticed a female of Asian descent. She didn't have many pictures on her profile, just one picture with the name Tina. From the looks of it, she seemed fairly attractive and was roughly around the same age group as I was. The bio on her profile was straight to the point. I remember it saying something along the lines of, "The hotter twin sister, you should date me." I found the description rather odd, but brushed it off as I just wanted to get some action that night. That's when...
Okay. Oh no. If you're thinking about, like, oh, you found a Tinder date, but you just like, nah, screw the talking and just be like, let's just get in bed and just do it. That's a bad idea. That's just more like a one night stand. Like, no, don't do that. If you really like that person, take it slow. You don't want to just jump into action and be like, oh, let's go ahead and make out real quick, do a one night stand. Bad idea.
She sent a direct message to me. I opened up the message, which read,
"I'd love to talk in person if you're free,"
with a smiley emoji. I was surprised at how forward she was. Her location said she lived about 15 kilometers away, which translated to about a 10-minute drive from my house, give or take. I figured
so she like down the street.
Wouldn't be much of an inconvenience considering how close she was. I sent a message asking for her contact information. She then responds with her fully disclosed address and phone number. Again, I was taken aback by how forward she was with her contact details. I began speculating if she was a catfish or not. No.
Hey, for dudes and girls out there, if you think that you're talking to someone and you thinking in your gut saying that she's a catfish, FaceTime them. FaceTime them. That will get your answer if that person is catfish or not. Always FaceTiming them, please. Because you don't want to get catfished and you're just like, damn, you just got played like that. Always FaceTime them.
Nonetheless, I brushed the notion under the rug and decided to respond back with, "Cool, be there in an hour." As I made my way to
Why
the
didn't you
washroom for a quick
FaceTime
shower,
her?
my entire body began feeling antsy. I couldn't help but feel genuinely excited, as if I was going on a first date again.
Oh
That's when I
my.
hear another notification sound coming from my phone. I checked my phone and saw another match coming from Tinder. Could this be my lucky day? I wondered. I clicked on the profile and noticed it was Tina, except the name on the profile said Lena. As I read her bio, I could see it was similar to Tina's profile saying, "The hotter twin sister, you should date me." The distance next to her
What if
name was
catfish
also
is used as a
15
person?
kilometers. Could it
Yeah,
be?
that's what's.
This has to be the twin she was talking about.
How about you
Speculations began running
FaceTime
through my
them?
head. I made the assumption that Tina and Lena were both twin sisters, considering the identical similarities in names, appearance, and location. It seemed like the pair had a pretty petty relationship with one another based on the way they were outing each other on their bios. She then messages me as well saying,
"Don't date my sister Tina, date me instead."
I couldn't.
Oh, snap. So we got what? We got two twin sisters fighting for this guy. Now I'll say, oh yeah, that's gonna be a tough one, because if you think about it, yes, babe, if you're watching this, you do have a twin sister. Always, how would I pronounce this? Always like try to figure out which girl are you going to date, because if you're dating someone that has a twin sister, gonna be a little bit hard. You just gotta remember how they look, how they dress, and how they like do everything. But oh lord,
Couldn't help but feel amused at the notion that I literally had twin sisters fighting over me that I hadn't even met yet. Not
This is
really
why you
considering
should
if this was a good idea or
FaceTime.
not, I decided to entertain it by saying, "How about we all go on a triple date?" Lena then responds with,
"Fine, but you better like me more."
My mind was racing. I couldn't believe I was going to potentially hook up with two attractive-looking twins.
Oh lord.
Something on every guy's bucket list.
Oh
That
lord.
being said, I grabbed my car keys and made my way inside my vehicle. I punched in the address on Google Maps and started driving towards the destination. About 10 to 15 minutes later, I arrived there and saw a fairly small house surrounded by a lot of trees. The house honestly looked like a shack that you would put storage in. I casually make my way onto the porch and began knocking on the door. I remember hearing faint noises of heavy footsteps making their way towards my direction. As I heard the door locks beginning to
God,
open,
I hope not.
I popped a breath mint in my mouth to give a good impression. The door began to creak open, and there stood a girl.
Ew. Oh. Okay, so oh fuck. So you're talking to twin sisters in one body. Damn, I don't even know how to begin with this. So I just got like a feeling to where like if you're like talking to like two girls but they're in one body and you're like throwing it back to them in bed, which I'm just trying to figure out which one is gonna feel it and the other one is not gonna feel it. Are they both gonna feel it at the same time? Oh god. Don't get me wrong, they don't look bad, but it's just like, god damn. She said she was 12 a moment. I'm just trying to figure out like you're like throwing it back to them. Well, not throwing it back, but cracking both of their backs out. And like you just trying to have a good feeling like which one is gonna feel it and the other one's not. I don't know.
With two heads attached to her body. If I recall the politically correct term, they were conjoined twins. The girl on the right then introduced herself saying,
I'm Tina, also known as the hotter twin, and here is my uglier half, Lena.
Damn.
Speak for yourself. Anyway, I'm Lena. You must be Jeff, right?
Yeah.
Come inside so we can get this party started.
I honestly contemplated on booking it, as it was clear as day that I'd been catfished, but I decided to take the high road and continue with the date, so I said, sure, ladies. As I made my way
It's
inside,
not really a catfish.
I couldn't help
it's
but
just
notice
that
how well kept the place was.
I don't know.
There were even 3 plates of steak preps sitting on the dining room table. I felt a little relieved I didn't split the scene, as I would have lived to regret leaving the twins high and dry despite all their efforts. We all began to walk towards the table. I sat on one side while the twins sat across from me. An awkward essence filled the room as I couldn't believe who I was currently on a date with. If I had to be honest, I couldn't muster up an appetite despite how delicious the meal looked. Tina held the steak with a fork in place while Lena began slicing it into bite-sized pieces. I sat there watching with my jaw hanging from my face as the twins started feeding themselves with their respective hands. I genuinely don't mean to be rude, but it was the most bizarre thing to watch considering it wasn't expected. Tina then says,
Why aren't you eating your steak, Jeff? I worked on it all day.
Leave him alone. He doesn't want to eat your shitty cooking.
I didn't ask you, idiot.
I wish we were separated. I can't stand you.
Psh, at least I don't have to share the same brain as you.
girls, please stop fighting. I'm just a little full from the food I had earlier.
Who do you think's hotter? Me or her?
I'm not here to pick favorites, Tina.
Okay, well, how am I supposed to say who looks hotter? Y'all both look the same. Y'all both are twins. Y'all both are in the same one body. Like, I go. Oh my god. Like, I just don't know. Like, I don't. Wait a minute. Someone said they're gonna kill themselves. I wonder if that one is so. Let's just think about it. If let's just say, I see. I'm guessing, I don't know if this is Tina. So, if she, okay, so let's just say this Tina dies. Will she die as well? Because keep in mind, they're both in the same body as one. So if her body, oh shit, if her body fails, will her body fail as well? You gotta think about it for a minute, because they're both in the same body. They got the same organs. I don't know if they got like this. I don't know if their like heart is like tight in together. I don't know.
Obviously likes me more.
There's a reason why I was born on the right side. Because I'm Mrs. Right.
Condescending bitch.
Girls, if you don't stop, I'm leaving.
Whoa.
The tension in the room got very uncomfortable. Both twins began to mean mug me while holding a knife in one hand and a fork in the other. I could hear nothing but pin drops as the room suddenly became silent. Tina then slams her clenched fist on the table while holding the fork in her palm, saying,
You're not going anywhere, Jeff.
"What are you talking about?" The twins then got up from their chair and began approaching my direction.
Oh, get out of there!
Back the closer they got to me.
Why the fuck are you sitting down? Why are you sitting down? The twins got two weapons in their hands. One of them has the fork and the other one has a knife, and you're sitting there. If I was him, I would have got the fuck up out of there. And yet you deserve to die. Why are you sitting there got a fucking confused face in yourself?
Ladies, can you please put the knife and fork down? As I looked into their eyes, I could
You look at her. You can tell she ready to kill somebody. Her, on the other hand, she just like, I don't know if you should do this. To be honest with you, I think she's the craziest. She like the crazy side of her, and then she like this. She might have like a mean side of her, but deep down, she got a sweet side of her. She's all crazy.
see them both filled with rage, while Lena's had a hint of concern within them. Tina then abruptly takes a swipe across my face with the fork in her hand.
Ow! What the hell is your problem? Get the hell away from me! I'm calling the cops!
I sat in my seat flabbergasted while trying.
Oh, that's why he got the scar on the face, because of her! Oh!
To subdue the blood dripping down my face. Lena then says,
"Why did you do that? If you go to jail, they're gonna put me in there with you, you idiot!"
Good. Not only will we be close physically, but we'll also be close emotionally.
Lena then began stabbing Tina across her face and neck repeatedly. I sat there in disbelief while being showered in their blood. As Lena continuously stabbed Tina, I saw her eyes beginning to slowly roll in the back of her head as the pair abruptly collapsed on the floor.
They're both dead. Oh, TJ, you was right. I knew it. TJ, you was right. Oh god. What the fuck? Oh my god. No wonder why he had the scar on his face, because of them. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Okay, now you said 3 lockdown horror stories. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Oh my god.
We can't leave the house. They've boarded.
No, I don't want that. I want horror shorts. I like his narrating. Damn it, please tell me y'all got... Oh, y'all don't got none. Y'all ain't got none. No, horror shorts party. I don't know the others, but I like this one. I've already seen this. I've already seen that. Oh my god. Well, I guess we're going to have to do it.
Boarded up our doors and windows. Started shooting people trying to break free. There are things in the streets. Tall things. I see their shadows sometimes as they run past the wooden boards. I hear the rumble of their feet. I don't know what they are. None of us do. They cut our access to television and the internet when the lockdown began. They even took out the cell tower. Anne says they don't want us communicating with the outside world, telling them about what's going on out here. I think she's right. It's been 2 weeks.
Red Hall 1? Hold on, let me look. Hold on, let me see. Red Hall 1, lockdown. Is it this one?
Dr. Nicely.
The PA system crackled to life on a Thursday during...
Hold on, let's see. I don't know if you're talking about this one or...
Lockdown, locks, lights, out of sight. Lockdown, locks, lights, out of sight.
The words kept repeating as Mrs. Danbury paused at the board and looked up at the speaker in the corner of the room. Okay, you all know what to do, she said, rushing toward the classroom door to shut and lock it. Nervous chatter went up among the students as we rose from our desks and moved into position against the wall. Is this real? My friend Colin asked as we sat on the floor with our backs to the wall. Must be, I said. They'd tell us if it was just a drill. The sound of helicopter rotors was...
Now, I'm not gonna lie, I used to have this at school to where like it'd be having like lockdowns and drills. I never had that when someone like actually like came into the school and like someone had a whole gun and they just started shooting. I never had that. But for the people that did have that in y'all schools to where it was actually a school shooter in y'all schools, I feel so bad for y'all. And I'm sorry for what y'all had to witness.
Faintly audible over the recorded voice of the lockdown alert, and the noise grew louder as we sat there in the dark classroom. After a few moments, it sounded like the helicopter was right over the school. A full minute passed before the helicopter moved again, the noise making it sound like it was going in circles above the campus. A loud bang, like a door flying open, sounded outside. Someone yelled in the hall, a sound that was quickly replaced by automatic gunfire. I slammed my hands over my ears, along with many other students. Some of the girls, and even a few of the boys, covered their mouths as they cried out softly. More gunfire erupted out in the hallway. It sounded as if there were 4 or 5 guns firing. An inhuman screeching sound pierced the air, making my eyes go wide. I looked over at Mrs. Danbury, whose face was drained of all color. She was...
Man, and you gotta be the one that'd be close to... Man, where's the window? Where's the window? I'm not finna be in school. I'm not finna be in this lockdown drill. Man, I'm getting a desk or a chair. I'm throwing at the window and I'm jumping out and I'm running the fuck home. I'm not staying in this school.
It was the nearest to the door. The nearest to whatever the hell was going on in the hallway.
Why do you gotta be near the door?
Stopped, and I heard a man shout and then scream. His wail of pain stopped abruptly with a loud, crashing bang. I didn't have to see it to know that he'd been thrown into the lockers lining the hallway. The metallic bang was enough to tell me that. More gunfire sounded outside.
They're still popping.
And more screaming. Then there was silence. For several seconds, we all listened hard for anything outside. The recorded voice was still going, and the helicopter was still faintly audible. The sound of running footsteps suddenly came to us from the hall. The footsteps stopped abruptly, and a terrible scream erupted just before the door to our classroom smashed in. A SWAT officer flew backward into the room and slammed into Mrs. Danbury's desk, which slid several feet from the impact. Cries of fear came from the students around me as they saw the soldier was missing an arm. He'd hit the desk with his mid-back and had come to rest at an angle that told us his spine was broken. Once the soldier
this person
came to
is
rest,
crazy.
There was only silence from the hall. It went on for long enough that I was starting to think the danger had passed. Mrs. Danbury apparently thought the same thing, because she crawled toward the doorway where the smashed door was hanging open. I don't know what she was trying.
If you're crawling and you're trying to see what's going on, please do it quietly. Because if not, if you make just one little tiny noise, that person will come at you. I think you're late to work. I don't go. I'll say, what time is it? 2. I don't gotta go until 4. So this, I'm probably going. I'm stuttering so hard. I'm probably gonna do the next one. The next one will be my last one. But it's only 2 o'clock. I ain't gotta be until 4. So we got like another hour.
As soon as I saw her move toward the doorway, I wanted to tell her to stop. Still,
yes,
I made no sound for fear of attracting whatever was outside.
Well, my thing is, if you're trying to walk or crawl, make sure you do it slowly and make sure you are not stepping on glass. You're stepping on glass, that's a huge giveaway right there.
If there was anything there at all. She peeked her head around the door jamb to peer into the hall. Her left hand came up to her mouth, as if trying to keep herself from getting sick. She stood up and turned around to face us. "Okay, we need to move to another classroom," she said. "The hall looks..." A long, blistered, red and black arm with a claw-like hand darted down from the ceiling outside the doorway and grabbed Mrs. Danbury by the neck, stopping her words. It yanked her out of the classroom before any of us knew what was happening.
That's a whole monster!
A scream and a thunk from outside. Then Mrs. Danbury appeared in the doorway again.
What the f- What? What? So there's so this monster is literally at the school. I thought it was just like a regular human being. But it's a whole goddamn monster. No wonder why the SWAT team was here.
Again. Only she didn't have any arms. Blood spewed from her massive wounds as she stepped into the room, looking back over her shoulder with a dazed look on her face. What she saw there snapped her out of it, and she started running toward the wall of windows opposite the doorway. Fountains of blood poured out of her as she ran past her desk, screaming.
Oh no.
A monstrous, scarred figure that looked like a badly burned mix between a bear and a baboon darted through the doorway after our teacher.
Wait a minute. So he said this animal is a bear mixed with a baboon. What type of mutated animal is that? Is that really an animal? A bear mixed with a baboon? Oh no. Oh no.
It leapt, smashing into Mrs. Danbury just as she reached the window. The two of them tumbled out, falling to the ground just a few feet below. My teacher screamed once more outside before her vocalization stopped with a terrible ripping sound. Okay,
good. That's okay. Okay, if that bear / baboon is distracted, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm getting out. I'm getting out. He's eating right now, so he's distracted. I'm running. Man, you know what? Hold on. He's distracted. You know what I gotta get? You know what I'm about to do? I gotta get the Glock. I gotta get the Glock Dookie. The Glock Dookie. Also, P.S. This is not a real gun. Please. This is not a real gun. YouTube, please do not fucking copyright me or anything. P.S. This is not a real gun. Not a real gun. But, yeah. If the bear was coming at me, and I'm sorry, I will have to bring this to school, but, yeah, I gotta get the Glock Dookie. I gotta get the Glock Dookie. See, I stay protected. I stay protected in my home.
All of us students stayed frozen against the wall, staring at the broken window, waiting for the thing to come back in.
The Glock Dookie.
But we didn't. It was all too much for us. Eventually, the gruesome sounds from outside stopped, but none of us were willing to risk standing up and moving toward the window to see what was happening.
Why would you want to go to the window?
After those noises stopped, we heard a flurry of gunshots from far off, likely off the high school campus. Hearing those faraway shots snapped me out of shock. I stood up and moved slowly to the doorway. I looked out to see the hallway littered with dismembered bodies. There was blood all over the place. A man with a smashed head lay below a huge and bloody dent in several of the lockers across the hall. A few other...
You ain't got no shotgun, no minigun, no flamethrower, none of that. No snipers. Shit, fuck it. An RPG. Like, y'all ain't got no type of weapons. Y'all just got M16s, not even a Glock, like...
Other guys and I led the rest of the class out. We headed toward the evacuation spot, and were about halfway there when we ran into more police coming into the school. They took us to safety. We were told it was an escaped animal from the zoo.
Escaped animal from the zoo. If that was the case, I am suing the zoo people. Y'all gonna let a wild-ass animal get free? How the fuck y'all gonna let a bear/baboon get free? What the fuck did y'all do? Y'all probably didn't even give this man his lunch. That's why he went crazy. Y'all forgot to feed him.
That's even what they said on the news that night. They said it was a bear. But I know what I saw. It wasn't a bear.
It ain't no bear.
It wasn't any animal I've ever seen. And the fact that there's a military research base not far from our school is just too much of a coincidence. But those of us who were in that classroom that day are smart enough to keep our mouths shut. But we know the truth. We'll always know the truth.
Yeah, I'm public and out saying it. That ain't no bear. That is a bear mixed with a whole baboon mutated. If I go to jail, so what? So be it. Y'all ain't finna just keep lies under y'all mouths and stuff talking about a goddamn bear. If it was a bear, why is his fingers and his legs covered in red, bulky, pointy, and bumpy spots? That's a whole damn bamboo mixed with a bear. Stop lying.
2. Dead all day. Before the lockdown even started, I knew something weird was going on.
This is the last one.
And I wasn't the only one. It was my senior year, and I had a pretty easy schedule. It was spring, and I could see the end of high school on the horizon. But that...
for all the people that's like in seniors, today it is April. So for the people that are seniors, and y'all are like close to graduation, take y'all time. Because if you think about it, for the people that's already graduated, you're gonna miss those old days to where like, damn, I wish I was in school and everything. So for the people that are still in school, keep those memories and make sure y'all enjoy school as the best way y'all can, because after you get out, you gonna miss it. I promise you. I miss it every day. And I graduated like, what, 3 years ago? So I miss it ever since.
A Tuesday, my concerns turned from the mundane to the insane. At first,
I should make a stream description.
I shrugged off the strange feelings I had. I thought the teachers were just having an off day. Or maybe it was me who was having the off day. I told myself to forget about it until lunch came around, and I went off campus to get a burger with my buddy Tom. What's up with the teachers today? Tom asked as we sat in the fast food drive-thru,
Yeah,
waiting
McDonald's.
to pay and get our food. I turned, surprised at Tom, who was usually about as observant as an octogenarian with failing eyesight. You noticed that too? I asked. Yeah, man. They're acting really strange. Mr. Bemis was just staring at me during first period.
Why?
His eyes were all
Why?
wide and blank. It was creepy as hell.
Why are you looking like
Then during
that?
second period, Miss Delia forgot how to spell the word algebra. She just stood there at the board, her hand up, with the A and the L written.
You don't know
I
how to
swear,
spell algebra?
She stood there for a full minute before Courtney Miller asked her if she was all right. It was weird. Maybe they all got together and smoked a blunt this morning or something. I laughed at that, thinking about the teachers hotboxing one of their minivans. But the laughter didn't last long. Tom was right. Something funny was going on. Yeah, Mr. Liu walked super slowly up and down the aisles while we were taking a test today, I said. He never does that. He always sits at his desk and reads or something while we take tests. And how slow he was walking? You'd have to try really hard to walk that slowly. Plus, I caught a whiff of him as he walked by one time. He stank. He was wearing cologne or something, but I could smell something nasty underneath it.
Hey, it be them teachers that don't be washing their ass and shit, and they just be putting on perfume or fucking cologne just to get rid of that smell. Don't gotta put no cologne on yourselves.
You know what? Tom said. That made me remember something. You know how Miss Delia is always so prim and proper? She's a neat freak, right? I nodded. I had Delia in one of my afternoon classes. Well, Tom continued, she looked kind of sloppy in class today. Her hair was frizzy, her makeup a little, I don't know, sloppy or something. It didn't
She ain't
connect
getting no
until you
sleep?
said that about Mr. Liu stinking. Our conversation stopped as I pulled up to the drive-thru window to complete the transaction. Then I drove to a nearby park where we sat on the hood of my Camry and ate, enjoying the spring day. We got back to school just in time for class and went our separate ways. About 20 minutes into class, the lockdown started. I was in Mrs. Santiago's class when the alarm went off. Mrs. Santiago smiled, as if she'd been expecting it, which made me think it was just a drill. Although every other time they'd done a drill, they'd told us beforehand. All right, class, Mrs. Santiago said. We're doing something a little different today. Half of you are going to stay here in the classroom like a
because of
normal
the heavy
lockdown
rain?
drill.
Damn.
The other half will follow me to another location. It's something new. We're trying to see how it works. I looked around, furrowing my brow. I didn't see the logic in it. Why would half of us leave the classroom to go somewhere else if there was a threat out there? A few other kids in the class seemed to share my concern, but most of them didn't care. They were simply willing to do what the teacher said. I waited for more information from Mrs. Santiago, but she didn't do anything for several minutes.
What is the
After
lockdown
turning
for?
the lights off and locking the door, she just stood at the front of the classroom, hands clasped behind her back, looking at us with a small smile on her lips.
Oh no, she's the killer. She's the killer. Get the Glock Dookie out. Get it out. She's the killer. She's the killer. She's the killer.
Finally, just when I was about to ask her what was going on,
Why are you close?
she
Why are you
split
shutting the
class in
lights off
half
and
down
you
the middle,
smiling?
telling those of us on the left side to come with her, and those on the right to stay in the classroom. I stood.
Excuse me, why are you talking about half of the people go with you and then half of them stay here? I feel killer vibes right now. You finna take all those kids in some sort of abandoned room that nobody goes to and you about to kill them. Yeah. Get the Glock Dookie, the shotgun, any weapon that you could have, and murk her.
And lined up with the other kids on the left, while those on the right got against the wall. We followed Mrs. Santiago out of the classroom, taking
Where
a
are you
bite.
taking me?
I was 3 kids behind her, peering around them to watch her, thinking about the strange ways teachers had been acting. She was in her 50s, with hair that had mostly gone from black to gray. She wore a floral print dress with frilly short sleeves. As we walked down the hall, I saw a drop of blood crawl down the back of her arm from under the sleeve. It stopped just above her elbow. A bad feeling seated itself in my stomach as we reached the doors to the gym.
So the other kids
Mrs.
didn't see it?
Santiago stepped aside and opened one of them to usher us inside. It was dark inside the gym because all the lights were off. As soon as I walked through the door, I stepped aside while the other kids walked past me into the darkness. I could hear some of them murmuring. They knew something was wrong.
Man, I would have left. I would have left. I would have went back to the other classroom. You ain't finna put me in here so I can conceal my fate. No, thank you.
One of the students pulled out a phone and turned on the flashlight. The illumination revealed other people in the gym.
Wait, whoa! I was about to pull it out, but what?
Teachers, just standing there in the dark on either side of the doors.
What the fuck?
Making a wide corridor in which the students now stood.
I'm shooting every single teacher that gets close to me in that room. You're getting the Glock Dookie to your chest meat.
There must have been a dozen of them. And as the flashlight came on...
Yup. Bang, bang, you're dead.
They moved in on the students. Screams bounced around the gym as the teachers attacked the students with knives and cleavers from the school kitchen.
Bang, 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 bang.
Piercing flesh and blood
Get out of
spilling to
there.
the glossy gym floor unleashed a deep fear inside me. Since I'd stepped aside to the wall when I'd entered the gym, I was still in the dark. I stumbled back toward the door, watching in abject horror as knives plunged into my fellow students. Clammy, cold hands grabbed my shoulders. I panicked, throwing an elbow behind me and connecting with what felt like a nose and
there you
mouth.
go!
The hands came off of me as I turned around, seeing Mrs. Santiago standing there staring at me, her mouth split open and her nose bleeding.
Man, I would
I
have gave her
shoved
the...
past her in the doorway, trying to get away from the gym, but she grabbed my left arm with her right hand. At 18, I was much bigger and stronger than her.
Exactly. You're a lot stronger than her, and she's a lot older. Man, if she would have grabbed my leg, you know what I would have did? Hold on. Do you know exactly what I would have done? You grab my leg, curb stomp you. I'ma stomp on your head. Stop playing with me. I will stomp on your head. Stop playing. I will stomp on your head. I promise you I will.
I shoved her as hard as I could. Something ripped, and she fell back against the gym door.
There
But
you
her
go.
hand still gripped my left arm above the elbow. I scrambled, pulling
Oh,
at her
that's her
severed
arm.
ripping it off of me and throwing it at her feet.
Throw them
I
hands.
ran, looking back over my shoulder as Mrs. Santiago stood there, seemingly unaware that she'd just had her arm removed, staring
Don't
at
look
me as I
back.
sprinted down the hallway. I ran for the nearest exit through the empty hallways, past dark classrooms. The lockdown alarm was still blaring, but I barely noticed it. The sound of my heart beating seemed louder than any alarm could ever be. I slowed as I passed Tom's classroom, clarity coming into my thoughts. I wanted to run out, but thinking of Tom and my other friends made me think of all the students that would be in danger if
I mean, hey, if you want to be the hero, go ahead. But if not, save yourself. Get your homie and get out.
Just ran away. I approached Tom's classroom slowly, glancing through the slender window into the dark room. I thought I had seen Tom's fifth period teacher, Mr. Pelham, in the gym. So when I didn't see anyone in the classroom, I banged on the door. Tom, I whispered loudly at the door between bangs. Tom, it's me, Nate, I said. Tom appeared out of the darkness. Nate? He said through the closed door.
Come on!
What are you doing?
Come on!
Where's your teacher? I said.
I don't know. He left like 5 minutes ago. Told us to stay put.
Open the door. We've got to go, I said.
Get out.
The teachers, they're killing people.
What?
Tom said, smiling.
Don't mess with me, man. This is serious.
I stepped back.
You think this shit is a game, my nigga? Come with me. If you want to live, come with me and we can get out. Like,
back from the door and glanced both ways down the hall. I didn't see anyone. I am serious, I said. Everyone needs to leave. Come on. Tom reached for the door handle, but a voice from inside the classroom stopped him.
oh, never mind. You're dead. Yep. Yep. You're dead. You're dead. Someone's in there with you. I'm sorry, my boy. I'm about to get up out of here. You said there's someone in there with you? Rest in peace. I will see you in heaven when my time is up.
Couldn't hear exactly what they said, but
You're
Tom's
dead.
response gave me a clue.
You're dead.
You know we're not supposed to open the door.
Tom said.
But this is Nate. He's no school shooter.
Tom opened the door and let me inside.
Oh, there's no one in there?
I closed it behind me and looked into the darkness at the
Why you
students
ain't
sitting
get-
against the wall.
Oh,
We need to
God.
go, I told them. Now, something is seriously wrong. We're supposed to stay here. One girl whose name I didn't know
Not
said,
anymore.
That's what the drills are all about, remember? I'm telling you, I said. The drills didn't have this in mind. It's the teachers. I watched them kill some of my classmates. There's something wrong with them. Haven't you noticed anything strange today? I could see in their eyes that many of the students had noticed, but none of them moved. All right, fine, I said. I'll go get help. Tom, you gonna stay here or come with me? I'm with you, man, Tom said, looking
That's
scared.
what's up.
Okay, I said to him. Then I turned to the other students. Someone call 911 if you haven't already. We have, someone said. They have police on the way. Lock the door behind us, Tom said to the nearest student as we turned to the door. It was tempting to hunker down and wait for the cops to show up, but seeing what I'd seen, there was no way I could do it. The teachers had keys to the classrooms after all. We'd be sitting ducks. I checked the hall before stepping out. Tom followed, shutting the door softly behind us. We booked it to the nearest exit and pushed on the metal bars to open the doors. They came open a few inches and stopped, the telltale rattle of chains coming from the outside. They locked the doors.
They locked
I said in a harsh
it.
whisper. What the hell is going on here? Tom said. I looked around. Let's try the faculty area, I said, noticing that we were near the admin offices. Maybe they left one of those unlocked. Tom nodded. We moved cautiously through the halls toward admin, listening hard and keeping our eyes peeled. We ducked through the doors denoting the faculty area
my God.
and saw a flickering orange light coming from the teacher's lounge. The door was closed, but, like most of the doors in the school, it had a thin rectangular window off-center through which the flickering light shone. I crept up to the door with Tom behind me. Taking a deep breath, I looked through the window. I saw a figure in the middle of the room staring right at me. I pulled my head back down. What?
What?
Tom said. There's someone in there, I said, then stopped.
Who is it, the janitor?
The image of the figure in the room took a moment to solidify in my mind. I stuck my head up again and looked through the window. The vice principal, a man named Ben Sheridan, was floating.
What the fuck? So what? He's the devil of oh, what? Why is he naked though? That's the point that I'm trying to get my head mixed into it. Why is he naked? Why is he naked? What
In the middle of the room, his legs and arms outstretched to make an X with his body. He was naked, and there was a short wooden spear jammed through his chest. The orange light was coming out of his eyes, nostrils, and wide open mouth, flickering as if from an inner fire. There were also red glowing words and symbols.
This man is doing a whole ritual.
Walls of the lounge, pulsating in time with the brighter light coming out of Sheridan's face.
Oh, I think I know what's going on. He's doing a ritual so that way he can possess the other teachers that he's controlling them. That may be the reason why them teachers are killing other students.
He floated just above a glowing circle on the floor, the edges of which were surrounded by strange symbols and words. I couldn't read any of the words because they were in another language, but the symbols looked like they'd been taken right out of a horror movie. How is this happening? Tom said, and I realized he was standing behind me, looking over my head through the window. He sounded on the verge of tears. This isn't supposed to happen, he continued. This isn't possible. We need to get out of here, I said. Now. We moved past the vice principal's
The door
office
is locked.
and the principal's office, and past the admin office to the doors used by the faculty. I pushed on one of the doors, my hope disappearing as it, too, only opened partially before it was stopped by exterior chains. The principal's office, I said. Maybe the window's open, or we can break one. Tom nodded.
I was gonna say,
following
break the
along,
windows!
wringing his hands. As soon as we got into the office, I could tell that the windows weren't designed to open. I started looking around for something heavy I could use to break one of the windows. I located a heavy teaching award on the desk and picked it up. It was the shape of an apple attached to a wooden base.
Yep,
it
use
weighed
that.
maybe 10 pounds. I glanced down at the desk plotter, noticing that it was a calendar. I looked at yesterday's date, reading a note there. Faculty meeting, 5:30 p.m. Something fell together in my mind. I was about to tell Tom about it when he spoke. "Someone's coming," he said in a harsh whisper.
Oh shit.
We ducked behind the principal's desk as a figure moved through the hall outside the office. I heard the door to the office open, and I clutched the award in my sweaty hands, mentally preparing myself to use it. "Nate Oshman?" a woman's voice said.
"What?
Is that you?" I stood up quickly, holding the heavy award over my head. It was Christina Henry, a pretty 20-something art teacher I'd had my junior year. "We need to get out of here," she said, holding up
so
her
she's
hands.
not possessed.
"I don't know what's happening with the other teachers, but they're killing students." "Yeah, no shit," I said. Tom stood up, eyeing Christina nervously. She looked normal, and she sounded genuinely scared, but I wasn't about to let her near me. "Were you at the meeting yesterday?" I asked her, taking a shot in the dark. She looked at me with open curiosity. "The meeting? What are you talking about? Why is that important?" "Because I'm guessing that's the last time all the teachers were together in one room," I said. "Whatever happened to them, someone did it on purpose. You walked past the teacher's lounge. You must have seen it." "I was sick yesterday," Christina said.
So all the teachers that was at that faculty meeting, they all got possessed, except for her. She's the only teacher that's not been possessed.
Apparently seeing the logic in my thinking. I missed it. "Now, can we please get out of here? Whoever chained up the doors had to be able to get back in here somehow. I have a key to all the exterior doors. We can find the one and get out of here." I glanced at Tom, who looked at me with wide eyes,
Follow her.
which he shifted down toward the desk. He was trying to tell me something. "Let me think," I said to Christina, then looked.
I would have been like, all right, you got the keys and everything to every door to unlock. I would have been like, all right, cool. But I'm going to stand my distance away from you. I'm going to stand like maybe 6 feet away. So that way you ain't going to try nothing or do nothing slick or anything. Because if you do, the Glock dookie is coming out. But other than that, I'm going to push myself away.
Down at the desk, Tom leaned down and put his hand on top of a clipboard on the desk. I glanced at it, seeing it was a list of names, teachers' names. At the top of the sheet, it read, "Faculty attendance."
Oh, Chris Henry.
And right next to Tom's index finger was the name Christina Henry. Next to her name, a check mark. I looked back up to see that she had a gun in her hand. "I like you guys," she said, dropping a scared tone. "I really would have let you go. You're both respectful students. You're not disruptive. I really wish you would have believed me." She raised the gun. I threw the heavy award at her, ducking as I did so. She fired the gun, but missed as she dodged out of the way of the teacher's award. Tom dove over the desk and tackled Christina, slamming her against the wall. They both fell in a tangle on the ground. Tom
that's right, slam her head!
She brought the gun up, but Tom caught her wrist with his left hand. With his right, he reached out and grabbed the award, then slammed it down on her face once.
Oh, there you go!
All it took. Seeing what he'd done, he clambered off of her, as if she were hot to the touch. I stepped over to her and felt her pockets for the keys she spoke of. I found them and
Get the key,
darted
get
out
out!
of the office. "Where are you going?" Tom cried.
Tom!
"We need to stop this," I said over my shoulder. I froze.
Okay, I thought I was about to be like, bruh.
I could see through the doors to the faculty area that
Lock
the
the
hall
door!
was filled with teachers.
Lock the door!
They all had sharp implements in their
Lock the
hands,
door!
and they were all
Lock them
coated in
in!
blood. They stared at me blankly.
Oh,
as
they got
hurried down
out,
the
didn't
hall.
they?
I ran toward them, stopping at the teacher's lounge. The doors to the faculty area were about 15 yards to.
I'm sorry if I keep pausing this, but why didn't you just lock them in? You had the key! You could have locked them in!
My right. The teachers were 5 yards beyond that. I tried the knob to the teacher's lounge door, unsurprised to find it locked. Trying to calm my shaking hands, I fiddled with the keys, trying 2 of them before the doors opened to my right. I had time for 3 more out of the dozen on the
Oh
team.
my god!
To my left, Tom came out of the principal's office. "Oh shit, man," he said, looking at the dead-eyed
You
teachers.
could have grabbed her gun and could have just shot them.
He cried. I slid a key into the knob and turned it, amazed to find that it actually worked. I'd found the key. I stepped into the room and picked up a chair from the wall just as the teachers crowded the doorway behind me. I stood outside the glowing circle on the ground and used the chair to shove the floating vice principal. I had to put all my strength into it, but it worked. As soon as he reached the opposite edge of the circle, he fell to the ground. Immediately, the glowing lights in his face disappeared, leaving only scorched black holes. The foreign words and symbols all over the floor, walls, and ceiling stopped glowing too. Behind me, I heard bodies falling to the floor. I turned around to see that all the teachers crowding the hallway were now sprawled out.
They were all
I knew
possessed.
instinctively that they weren't unconscious. They were dead. They'd been dead all day. At least now, they weren't trying to kill us. Behind us, outside the school, the sound of approaching sirens was like music to
Where
my
was
ears.
y'all at?
Story 3.
Oh wow. Wow. What? What? Wow. That's crazy, bro. My thing is, where were the cops at? It took y'all this long to get up here while me and my boy Tom had to fight for our lives, and then finding out the art teacher was faked us and everything. Like, oh wow. And then the vice president, he was the one that was controlling all the teachers to be killers and everything. Wow. That's amazing. That is amazing. That's a good story. That's a good story. Oh my god. But all right, but we're gonna end it here. I gotta get to work. It's 2:30, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this little short stream. The other stream I might have to delete that one because that one got like copyrighted and everything. Because I watched like I think like 2 movies of the trailers that were like restricted and I wasn't able to watch, so I might have to take that down and keep this one up. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this. A lot of you guys saying that y'all wanted me to do like a stream like schedule and everything. I'm gonna try my best to do it, but since I'm like working and everything and I got a lot of hours, I don't have like I gotta say this like time to like stream and everything. But I'm gonna still try my best to like gotta do a lot of streams and everything while I'm making videos and everything. But yeah, with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this little short stream. We are like what, a few subs away from 900. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I still got like I got one thing planned when I reach 1K, and I'm gonna put up a poll once I do hit it. But hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, like and sub, and see you out in the next stream. We out of here. Peace.